This is the 124th Taiku in the Babylonian Talmud, according to the book by Rabbi Aharon Yehoshua Pessin called Taiku, which is a compilation of all the Taikus in the Babylonian Talmud. And a Taiku is an unanswered, unresolved question to which, as tradition has it, we need to wait until the Messiah comes. And Elijah the prophet is said to answer the questions. Why Elijah and not the Messiah? I don't know, but that's how the tradition goes. And the 124th Taiku appears in Tractate Bava Kamma, page 37b, with the words Chamor, V'gamal, Shor v'shor mahu. The Gemara asks, and the Gemara adds a similar dilemma. Now, I should mention that some of these Taikus, they have a number of questions, and they only result in Taiku, and one Taiku will be the final, the final station for a bunch of questions, and the dead end, maybe you should say. And there might be more questions than this, but I started from a point because sometimes it goes. So in case you want to see it for yourself, you can look it up for yourself. It's Bava Kamma 37b with the words Chamor v'gamal. The words if an ox gored a donkey and a camel. Okay, so here's the dilemma. Chamor v'gamal shor v'shor mahu. Hai shor Kamma batar Chamor v'gamal shedinan le'ayed le'nechuli minei oidilma batar shvorim shedinan le'vakati l'shvorim hu di'ayad le'mina achlina lo iyad. If an ox gored a donkey and a camel, and then an ox, and another ox, what's the halacha? Okay, so an ox gored a donkey, then a camel, and then an ox, and another ox, and another ox. What's the halacha? The Gemara presents the possibilities. With regard to this first ox that it gored, do we place it together with the camel and the donkey, and the belligerent ox was accordingly rendered forewarned with regard to all species? Or perhaps we place it together with the two oxen that it gored afterwards, and accordingly it was still rendered forewarned only with regard to oxen, whereas it was not rendered forewarned with regard to other species. So, just from a zoological point of view, perhaps this is an ox that is more inclined to gore a certain species than others. So if it's together with the oxen, then it gored 3 times one kind, or does it not make a difference what kind it is? It's just something that was gored. So that's the question. With regard to oxen, whereas it was not rendered forewarned with regard to other species. Shabbos, Shabbos, Shabbos. Echad b'Shabbos, Sheni b'Shabbos, Mahu. O b'Shabbos b'Tayis, Bos b'Shabbos, V'udu Shenin Leib. V'Kal b'Shabbos Nayed. V'Masachol Lo Yayed. Oidima. B'Shabbos b'Shabbos, Sheni b'Shabbos, Shenin Leib. V'Yeleh L'Kuli Yoma. Similarly, a similar type of case, if an ox gored on Shabbat, and then on Shabbat, and on Shabbat. So, 3 consecutive Sabbaths. And then, on Sunday and on Monday. What's the halacha? With regard to this last Shabbat, do we place it together with the previous Shabbat? I would think so. But they want to know, do you place it with the Shabbat? And the ox was still rendered forewarned only with regard to Shabbat. maybe this ox has a particular cord that it only gores on Shabbat. Whereas with regard to weekdays, it is not rendered forewarned. Or perhaps we place it together with the goring on Sunday and Monday, and it was thereby rendered forewarned with regard to all days of the week. Chamish b'Shabbos v'Erev Shabbos b'Shabbos. Shabbos v'Shabbos ma'u. Shabbos kaim z'Abbas chamish b'Shabbos v'Erev Shabbos sheni l'ay. Ya'ad l'chul yomin. Oy d'yom v'Shabbos k'ma'isa. But Shabbos sheni l'ay. Shabbos hu d'ayud. Taiku. In another similar case, if an ox gored on Thursday and Friday and Shabbat, and then the next Shabbat and the next Shabbat after that, what is the halacha? With regard to this first Shabbat, do we place it together with Thursday and Friday and thereby hold that the ox was rendered forewarned with regard to all days of the week? Or perhaps we place this first Shabbat together with the other Shabbatot, and the ox is rendered forewarned only with regard to Shabbos. Taiku. All of these dilemmas stand unresolved, and we must wait until the Messiah comes. And we'll say, Elijah, what's the law if an ox gored so and so and da 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 da? 3 times, 3 Sabbaths in a row. Da, 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 da. And that's the 124th Taiku, found in Tractate Bava Kamma, page 37b, according to the book by Rabbi Aharon Yeshua Besson called Taiku.